You do. You do. Terry is Terry is actually quite a legend in the way that he does things. He actually builds. He also builds. You build motor cars. It's like you know, to build a racing car is pretty amazing by hand. That is just, to me, incredible. Somebody doing that, and I do mean that. Terry, if you ever want to know, so Terry used to beat Peter Brock in races until Peter Brock got sponsored by a large organisation. Is that's correct, isn't it, Terry? Yeah. Okay. Now I'm officially almost ready to go. Yeah, I have, and watched him. His son is just amazing. Just amazing. Okay, let's do TGS. Legend. Okay. Okay, that's good. Yeah. Okay, that's all right. Now I'm just trying to see if I've got everything in place, and here we go. Let's look at TGS. And apologies, there's too many things got to go. Oh, I had a screen disappear. Okay, Tiger, beautiful correction. This is a good correction. It's come back of area for me to look at and be appealing. Basically, this is right now in a horizon. At the moment, if you're looking at this, you'd be having your stop loss around about the 6.3 cents and trying to get in on a break above 0.9 cents. So by the break above 8.9 cents, stop below 6.3 cents, your target really are somewhere into the 11 cents or 12 cents on the top side. Now that, of course, is the trader's time frame. On the higher time frame, we'll just have a quick look to see whether I'm talking shit or not. You can see here your target is about 11 cents, but if it takes that out, 15 cents and just 21 cents are the next dream target of 26.5 cents. Oh, well, yeah, it depends on their size of their capital. So I often recommend you, if you are trading something, you do not take a position greater than 1 day's worth of trading in a week. So what that means is that if you take a position and you average it out across the week and you go, okay, what's an average day worth of trading? Then in illiquid times, it might take you 1 or 2 days to get out. You shouldn't have anything more than that. Some of our members take very sizable positions. I mean, Cindy was saying that a financial planner today was trying to get her to go and buy banks because she told him that she'd made a whole lot of money trading and she wanted he wanted her to put 300,000 of the profits she's made recently into the banks. And she said to me, well, why would I do that when David's saying the banks are going down? I said, exactly. But I gave her some strategies that if he was a good financial planner, and I advise quite a few financial planners, that if he's a good financial planner, he should be able to find actually for his reason. Now, his reason was that he wanted her to get dividends. And there are better ways to get dividends than wearing a risk to the share price. And you can do that by using some of the floating notes that the banks have issued, and you don't take a capital risk, but you pick up a 5% dividend yield on those fully franked. And so that's a good thing to do. So for those sort of things, yes, you can talk to me or you can talk to John as well. Yeah. So let's move on. What's the next one there, Terry? Yeah, the target's $49.26. See, the funniest thing was Cindy was saying, hang on, I just sold the bank ANZ at $29.13 based on David's your target at $29.24 to short of that. So why should I be buying the banks? It was actually, her brain was, it was interesting watching the brain process today when she gave me a call. So yeah, $49.26, that's still up there. Now in here, this pattern is usually what I would say is probably a fourth wave. And these fourth waves can last for a little bit. So you should be banking half the cash around that $49.26 area. And remember, realestate.com.au or rea.com.au or whatever it's called, it does have some pretty wild moves. So it's a good thing to take profit on because it probably pulls back down to about $44 after it's banged into this level. Keep half running just in case it scoots through. A good trade there, Rob, by the way. Yep. Yep, it's trading 52.38 now at the moment. It's trading 52.38 right now. You're excited. You're excited, Terry. Yeah, it's a reasonable profit on that one. I don't think you'd argue with that. So yeah. See, what you can see is on this, well, if you're going to take profit for a quick profit, the first target I gave 200, the next was 51.50. And a dream target would be 5,006. So you're in a little bit of a debate area now because it's rejected off the prior lows, which is good. It's done a 50% retracement, which is good on the highs. So, and volume has been decreasing as price has been going up. So it's been quite nice to see that trade. And you know, my thoughts about the banks coincide with what I think about this index. So if you're taking it, the best thing I can tell you to do now, Terry, is lower your stop to 53.30, and then you don't care. Yeah. Yeah. Now, was it helpful having JR as a broker there for you, John Robertson? Yep. Yeah, that's why. That, That's why I chose John as a broker for the PHG group, because the one thing that John does is he's not rushing out and making people trade stupid ideas, which I have seen time and time again with a lot of brokers, and you yourself know that and I know you've complained about one particular broker who will remain nameless. Many people know his face, but he was constantly calling you up to take trades. John will never do that unless it's a Profit Hunter Group trade and you're a Profit Hunter Group member, and you may have missed out and you've expressed interest in it. So what he does is he's not chasing the business, but he's making sure you stay a customer for life because you stay alive. A lot of brokers are just after your brokerage, and they do it to me too. I had it for about 15 years, brokers chasing me, particularly when I was worth a lot of money for them in the foreign exchange. But they just ring you up and want you to trade all the time, and that really, you got to pick your mark. So yeah. Okay, that's great. Okay, move on. Yeah. Yeah, well, it closed at $175.50. Now, when it was down around that 100 area, yeah, when it was down around that 100 area, I started talking about 200. It's been an extreme move, and what we saw was that it's pulled back $25 today, which is just over around about the 12.5% mark from the high down. What we don't, what that sounds exciting or depressing for people. And what we've seen is that it's actually was up from the low today, or which was near the open. It opened at $156. So it was up actually $20 higher than the open. So the close was quite high. So this is now going into a confused state of mind. Now, now, can you not see it, Therese? I can see it on mine. Yeah, Therese can, yeah. So we can, Teresa, sorry. It is up there, Teresa. So this should track sideways for a little while now, at least go down to 172 point. Big whoop. It's probably got 160 on its mind in its confused state of mind. So it's got really well ahead of itself. It got to the perfect target. It's almost like it will not trade there for about a month and will spend sideways sideways movement now. So Blackmores, any broker, and this brokers will tend to come to you and say, buy Blackmores, and you go, why? And then you go, oh, well, it went up, and then it comes back down, and it will frustrate the hell out of you. So Blackmores is now buy the dips, sell the rallies, buy the dips, sell the rallies, probably for about 2 weeks. Then it may push higher again. So your broker might be right in the long run, but it's going to churn, and it's going to be very difficult trading for this one. So if you're trying to trend follow it, you really want to pick it at the right level. That's true. Yeah. Okay. It's not that brilliant. I would like to think that it goes down around about or $1.68 at the moment. I'm too excited about buying this. Invest in the intermediate time frame. Maybe if it clawed its way above $2.10, it would be useful for a buy with a stop below $1.85. On the traders time frame, you can see you get out of jail card is a rally back up to $2.02 or $2.10. There are quite a few stocks that are behaving like this lately. It's not a good sign for the overall market itself. And we've seen seeing movements to the downside. For example, Woolies today got the clacker knocked out of it. Woolies? No. I've been looking for 22. That's, as you remember, that target, but that's such a dramatic decline. I have no idea what reason that was, and frankly, I don't care. I got sent a document on a stock that I own, and it was seriously about half an inch thick, trying to explain why to reject the takeover offer. And when I looked at the chart, I'm going, yeah, I could see why you'd reject the takeover offer, because the chart is a beautiful chart and it's going higher. And that's all I needed to do within 2 minutes to make an assessment. So I don't know how these people go spend hours poring over a balance sheet and all of those sort of things, because all the balance sheets and all the promotional documents are just bullshit written by management. I used to write those reports. I know how much bullshit I put in them. So, you just don't trust those things. And anybody who says that they have a valuation of something and the charts are silly, and that we're just making assumptions. Well, they're making assumptions every day about what what the forward earnings are, all those sort of things. So, we're all making assumptions. So get real. There was a profit downgrade on Woolies. Yeah, profit warning, profit downgrade. That's what came today. The story is, I guess everyone would say Masters. I guess too, there's Aldi coming in a lot of places. For example, Phillip Island, it used to have a Coles only, and it had an IGA where you wouldn't eat unless you wanted to die. There is a lot of old people in Phillip Island, so maybe that's where they want to go when they finally want to give up the ghost. They go and eat meat at IGA and in cows. But Coles was Coles was out of control at Christmas, and then Woolies came along with the Hugh Butte thing. Then Coles upped the ante. It's only got a population of 10,000 people on the island when it's not holidays, and Aldi's coming. So, a lot of these supermarkets are just over supermarketed, and as well as Masters, which is losing $400 million a year or something. Well, the other thing with The other thing with Masters is for people who've been in there, and I haven't been in there, they just said it's just cheap knockoff shit from China, so, or not even China. Yeah, not even Chinese quality. Okay, it's a good store. It's a good store. Yeah, the Double Bay Woolies is amazing. They're trying to outcompete the organic stores down the road. Anyway, Adonis is saying they are more expensive than Coles, worse service than Coles, and poor product range. That's the start of their problems. Um, Louise, it's negative, to answer Louise's question. Louise has just asked a question about the 3-point crossover, and it's negative. Louise, you actually learnt that you need to go back through your notes in Chartist seminar, because that is something I covered in your one. So to do-re mining. Now, I don't know whether it's do-re-mi. I used to think it was do-re-mi or something like that. But DRM, I'm surprised Bernie wasn't watching. Weren't you watching? So here, basically the same thing applies. It needed to break through that 64 to be good. I was talking about a dip to buy around about the 50, 52 cents area. That's where I'd be looking to buy with a stop below 45 cents. It does look like it can blow through that 64 cents. If it can get some legs going, be looking up towards. Yeah, today it really didn't do anything. Looking up towards 81 cents to 78 cents on the top side. Yeah, like as I said, Terry, it's always I've been hoping for $22.90. That's just where we're waiting. Just $24.70. It's down about $3.30 from last week, this week's high since Monday. Yeah, I haven't heard from them lately. I haven't heard buying more. Maybe. Yeah, well, there was once a newsletter person that came out and told us said how good this particular stock was, and I had bought the stock and I got rid of it pretty quickly because it didn't do anything. But this was Fat. I can't remember the name of the newsletter. Fat something or other. It could be. Yeah. That was it. And what they said was they'd bought this stock at $1 and it was now trading $1.50. They'd bought it 4 years ago at $1 and had gone down to 20 cents. And now it was up to $1.50, and they were patting themselves on the back for that particular trade. And I just went, this was one they were advertising. I went, are you kidding? You just would have killed people, would have died. Looking at it, especially if they were leveraged. That's just not fair. And I saw another newsletter writer that came from, I think it was an email from Copper, and they said, we own these stocks. And one of them was LYC, Linus. And I go, well, and it went up 300%. I go, well, that was like seriously ancient history. It's and they were saying all these ones that had gone up a bit, but then reasonable profits, but then they were way down, but they weren't ones that they were currently holding. So I don't know how people, it's hard when you advertise and do things like that. You might have to embarrass yourself with going publicly on high rotation advertising, but people actually do buy those things. I can't run myself that way. It's, I couldn't do that. Anyway, let's move on. You're alive, Terry. Hello. Hello. Okay.
Yeah.
Terry?
Computer shut down.
Computer shut down. Terry, I'll roll on with the question. So
I'll give you the next question, and it'll be going.
Well, they can hear you.
Can you please give me your profit target on TPM and QMS from Adonis?
Okay. So for TPM, TPM, it's hit something. So basically, looking down towards $10.11 if it pulls back decently. We've had a theory that it would be going a little bit higher if it wanted to. Now those areas, those bit higher levels, somewhere in the $12.80 area, $12.83. If you're still long this, stop would be below $10 if you are trying to hang on. The other one was, what was the other one there that Terry had? Just one second, I'll have to pull it up on a different system. QMS. Thanks, Adonis. Seeing as it's your question. QMS Media. Okay, lots of new floats. And the new floats like Godfrey's have had the kick knocked out of them, and that's some, and even Channel 9, and there's quite a few ones that have been floated recently that just have been caned. Dick Smith. These do. Hey Chris, how you doing? These do digital billboards. Chris in Melbourne, and some of these stocks are just silly, really. The way I've got this mouse, so this has kicked on seriously since it was born. Now I don't think it was trading at 0 cents, so that's a data confirmation. But I would say it probably started its life somewhere around about the 6.5 cents area. So we're looking around about $1 and $1.30 area for this as a target. Stop would be at, really you need to have a stop at loss at about 88 cents on that one. So it did float at 65 cents. Did you do the issue on it, Chris? Chris is a broker from Holst, a stockbroker from Holst in Melbourne, and he says yes, he did the issue. Not bad. So it started 65 cents. So probably about $1.30 would be the variable best guess for where it could end up. Usually Holst do reasonable issues. They're not full of shit, like prepared to do rubbish issues. So up to $1 in the short term, looking for $1.09. Stop loss should be below 90 cents. Okay, what was the next one? Well, we got Terry Bay here. Just one second. I need to bring up Terry. I might need to. I need to kick him out. I need to dismiss his and bring him in. Okay. Beautiful technology. If you kick a computer, it dies, and then it annoys you. Terry, would you be needing me to turn you on? Do I turn you on, Terry? Be honest. Do I turn you on? I turn you on. Yep. Okay. You are unmuted and hopefully turned on by me still. Are you good now? We've done QMS. Yep. And we do have the broker in the audience that floated QMS. TPM is done. Okay, now I'm getting a bit tired of looking at the same sort of chart at the moment, so I tend to have a tendency to want to go somewhere else. So I signed this. Now it's getting patted over the back for giving higher targets on this one. Now, originally when it started off, I was thinking you probably look about 90 cents at the moment, 81 cents on this one. And your stop needs to be around about the 35-cent mark if you're playing with it and worrying about it. ASX, Dan's a broker and financial planner from up in Toowoomba. If you're up that way, Dan's a good man. ASX went into trading halt for a capital raising today. That's a bit disturbing. Now, with the capital raising, I guess the information has spec it's around about 33 cents to 36 cents. If it's down in that zone, I would say it's okay to go for a buy, but you don't want to see it going too aggressive on how much capital they're raising. And if it's down there, it would be buy worthy with a stop below 25 cents. Thanks for that, Dan. Capital raisings are, especially when they've just done a float, it's a bit of a strange sign to give. Maybe it's just management, maybe they've got to pay themselves extra salaries because the shares went up. That's a little bit of a warning sign. Okay, so if you're holding it, look at the details of the capital raising. If it was a good capital raising at a good discount and they weren't just doing it for spurious reasons, then you'd be all right. Let's talk about BAL, Bellamy's. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. What happens with the Profit Hunter group, Terry, which you're aware of, is in the mornings when we have things like capital raisings, there's a lot of brokers and a lot of active traders in there, and they bring the information to me. I don't watch this sort of information, and when I see it, something happening, if I don't know what it is, the Brains Trust will generally tell me, give us the details of it. So everybody's primed at 10 a.m. for the important stuff for the start of trading that day and what to do. So it's actually quite a good group. And Dan fits into what I call the Brains Trust, as you're aware, Terry. And he's a very, very active member in the PHG, popping up with things like that help us a lot. So thanks, Dan. I appreciate it. Stockbroker, financial planner. Wealth advisor, I guess is probably the more faster way of saying it, yeah. Yep. Bellamy's with BAL. Now, this is the thing that just doesn't want to die, the beast that doesn't want to die. So really on this fella, you know, $13 is probably the place. At the moment, it's a bit hesitant, and if it did dip down to $5.91, that would be the nice area to buy some with a stop below $5.50. You don't get this very often. It's obviously a business that's been worthy of what it's been doing. Now, in the intermediate time frame, we can see that it's popped its head above the old top and then starts possibly a fifth wave of some higher degree. So down towards a medium-term degree. If it breaks $7.30, then look down to $5.89 on the downside. So I wouldn't be overly in love with committing extra funds to this until it closed through $8.29. Well, if you're in from $4.50, absolutely. If you're in from $6, yeah, soldier on. Okay. Okay. So, I just said if you're in for $4 and $4.50 or lower, then do nothing. If you're in from above $8, then start to sweat bullets on a break back below $7.30 because you're looking down to $5.89. That's where you would be looking to exit. SPI. Now, I didn't know whether that's the share price index futures or, and I think that was from Tony, who's on, Tony C. So if you are there, Tony, I'm not sure you meant the SPY, but we're going to look at Spitfire Resources. Weren't they copper? When anyone got some feedback on that? If they're copper, let me know. Spitfire is called Shitfire at the moment. So what can we do with this? The answer is Sandfire for copper. Yes. Yes, Tony says, and Sandfire for copper, I think, Mark. Now, there's not much you can do with this, really, other than wonder if it's going to God. Copper has tried to rally a little bit. Manganese. We've got a couple of votes. Manganese, copper. Let's have a look. This is a yearly chart. We can see that I would like it if it gets above. Above 1.1 cents. That would be okay. A close on a weekly basis above there. Otherwise, I'd be leaving it alone. If you did buy it, then your stop would be somewhere around about 6 cents. Sorry, yeah, but sorry, 0.6 of a cent. Now let's look on the weekly charts to see if we can find anything more inspiring. And the answer is you can't. It just isn't there. Nothing on about this particular stock in the moment. There is, however, go ahead. I've finished. Yeah, it needs HGG, Henderson's, which I believe was the UK management funds management firm. Now it will ebb and flow with the pound. The Aussie pound has pummeled. We're getting a bit of confusion in here, and pattern-wise, it's not. But pattern-wise, it's not healthy. It's not really. I'd like to see better volume in it. Maybe we'll get that on Friday. But here, a close below 5 cents would be a stop if you're long. If you're thinking of buying it in this pattern, you might want to buy it on a dip down towards $5.67. Now, on the weeklies, we'll just pick it up on the weeklies. On the weeklies, one more press towards about $5.70 sorry, 50 cents, that sort of area, would put this into struggle street territory. So that if we were if you were long and looking to take profit, I would like to take profit up in that zone. Okay. Another Magellan Financial. He did, didn't he? She did. And Caitlin forgot the guy that she was before. But probably will develop back into him now that he's not being charged with murder. Okay, let's do the stock in dollars on this fella. One more push up is kind of debatable. So we're getting this push up. I think that if you long this, your stop is at $19 and really just hang in there. We're going to get some divergence on this, and in fact we are on this next push up, but it's probably not as bad as I think. Yeah, we probably, here we go. No, this probably a shorter term. I think you'll find it will pull back down to around about $21. So you might want to buy it down there. Stop loss below 24 cents shorter term. Look for another push higher. Funds management. They provide. I believe they're annuities. SRX, this is Certex. Now Certex has been, was the one where it dropped an incredible amount in a few days, and it's recovered fully. I did think that it was going to start to headbutt into this area and start to have some problems. But so far, it hasn't yet fallen over. But what this signal is telling me is it pulled back down to $33.66. It's quite possible it would be a buy down there with a stop at $32. Then you'd be looking for targets towards SRX. And we'd be looking to targets towards about $48.54 in my dreams. Again, there's a region going on in that, and so with a pullback, it would be nice, $35.32. Nice tight stop, $32. Looking for the higher levels. It came back with good resilience. There is good volume as it marches up, so it's got good potential in the longer run. It's just that from now, I think a pullback is needed. Do you want me to load up? Well, did anyone see what I said Australia Bank yesterday? Just read out what I said. National Australia Bank on Your Money, Your Call. I don't actually watch Your Money, Your Call. Anyone hear what I said about NAB? Anybody? There's a hands go up. What did I say? Type it in. See you cross, because I don't get to say much on those programs. In fact, last night I had a massive headache, and really it was boring. It was a boring night. I thought it'd be more interesting. First time on was on with Rudy. I thought he was fun. You just did. They just did. You just did. No, I just Tony asked, "Do you want this?" And I said, "Yeah, fine." Okay. I'm not getting. Okay. So what we saw here, basically yesterday for the PHG. Let's go in and have a look at what I did for the PHG stuff. You're probably going to have to see some rubbish here at the moment. Just 1 second. I'll just dim the screen because getting through all this stuff is just annoying, and you can get vertigo. Profit owners. Yep. Yeah, Terry. One of the things I hate doing to people is, yeah. One of the things I hate doing is, but so many people don't see what I do. And this, as you can see here, I'm going through all of the stocks that I've covered in the last day or so. And this is this is the PHG um, trade list, and that's it's not exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for. Okay. Yeah. Let's see what I said. This is the post for yesterday, and this is the transcript. And the date, as for PHG members, people say, what do I know what the time is? When I posted it, I start writing this and delivering the webinar at the same time at about 8:30 in the morning. So this is posted at 10:26 and started. So this is the full transcript. There's no changes involved in this. And now I'm looking for nab.asx. Now we're going down here. This is nab.asx. It says here, this has been the better banks. In fact, it's been one of the best. It's now reported and it is now a short. Does anyone know what National Australia Bank did today? And it's a short of $33.23, targeting down below $30. We won't be making this as PAG. We'll be watching how it opens. I believe it's the way to go. Investors time frame, we can see little volume has it opens, and this is the chart of National Australia Bank. 3 days to go. We have half the volume previous month in this rally. It's now back into overhead resistance. Sellers, and I went on TV last night and talked about this. Is anyone aware of it? Now it was actually trading. You can see this green bar here. I don't know if I can pull this right up. But you can see this green bar here, and that was where it was on the data that I was looking at. It was like right up on that high. And the first thing we did on yesterday is put a sell out on it, and you can see. Sorry, it wasn't. Yeah, it was yesterday. It was Wednesday. The results came out, I think. Actually, was it? Yeah, it was. Okay, so basically here, no, we were looking at it on this day, that was the 26th, and I was basically said, it's a sell, it's a sell. Boom, 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 volume collapsed. Now, for you, I gave a target at $30, and I ask you for people, whether you think I'm full of shit or not, is that useful to know in advance that NAB will fall some $2 pretty quickly? Yeah. Yeah. Terry, there are people, David, you're full of shit all of the time. All of the time. I get it all the time. I think you're full of shit. Okay. So here, and this is the area that I'm looking for, $27 to $24.62. And I mentioned, so that might have helped people this morning. Rudy looked at me like I was a Martian in some ways, and Tony just said last night on the TV, he said, I hate banks anyway. But there are times when the banks have been good. They've been good to go. So the question was Westpac. Now Westpac is sticking up. Why is it sticking up? Because it's a dividend to come. CBA and probably reporting soon. CBA also staying up a bit. ANZ got to the target and got pummeled. So Westpac's a little bit harder to gauge until we get the response from the next report. But it'll probably do the same thing as NAB. NAB was, I think, the first one to raise capital. Then I believe, was it ANZ went for it, then CBA went for it, and then Westpac went for it as well. So, these are the ones that have a rolling bunch of herding mentality. They all raise interest rates at the same time. Zoe's made a nice comment. Appreciate that. No, it's all right. I'm a bit shy, Terry. She says she loves me. No, not at all, Terry. Okay, so, you spoil all the fun. Okay, anyway, ANZ, bang, this is where our friend Cindy got out at $29.13. I'd been targeting $29.24. She got out. I think the high here was 17. She got out at $29.30. Never made my perfect target. Now ANZ on the downside, attracting a lot of volume. Now today is particularly unfortunate to see a lot of volume because it's options expiry date. So if it breaks the $28 area, then I'd say, yep, that volume was reality. Now we're seeing it peeling off on increasing volume, which is a negative. It couldn't quite get to $29.24, slight negative sign. It now has a double top in a downtrend, which would project down to new lows, and those new lows around about $24.75 for ANZ. The more the banks put up the interest rates, the more they hurt their customers, the more they hurt themselves, and in order to try and keep their pay packages, they've got to keep their profits up. So they think they're going to get it out of people who will go broke if they nudge up their interest rates higher. So good night, Irene. Thanks, JR, too. I didn't know you play a harmonica, Terry. You going to play the banjo soon? See ya. Oh, Stephen had a great trade on NAB today. Fantastic. Good one, Steve. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Tony. Thanks, Sharon. Thanks, Zoe. Yep. I didn't see that one from you. Thanks, Robert. Thanks, Adonis and Louise and Mark and John. Bye. See ya.